So see the circuit diagram of DC power supply. First block is step down transformer. This is the primary winding. Across the primary winding will connect AC voltage to 30 volt 50 Hertz like this. This is the secondary winding, secondary terminals, V secondary, and this is what your bridge rectifier. You are aware about the bridge rectifier. Then across the output of bridge rectifier will connect a capacitor, shunt capacitor with value C. Then the next block is voltage regulator. So as you know, voltage regulator can be available in two forms. One in the IC form, that is 3-pin regulator IC, and next is Zener diode. You can use Zener diode as a voltage regulator. Out of that we'll use here a 3-pin voltage regulator IC, and the number of IC is 7812. The number of IC is 7812. It's a 3-pin IC. So if you see the pin diagram of that IC, 7812, 1, 2, 3. Pin number 1 is input pin, pin number 2 is ground, and pin number 3 is output pin. So we'll connect here. Suppose this is my IC 7812. This is say pin number 1. Instead of showing at the lower side, I'll show the pin number 1 here for simplicity. So this is my pin number 1. Pin number 2 I'll show here, which needs to be connected to the ground. And pin number 3, instead of showing here, I'll show here. So this is pin number 3. So these two terminals are nothing but the output of your voltage regulator IC, and across this output I will connect RL as a load resistor, and across RL I'll get my constant DC voltage. Now if you see the IC number is 712, means at the output I get I'll obtain 12 volt DC. Okay, last two digit will shows the output voltage. So this is about the circuit diagram. Now if you go through the kit of DC power supply, kindly check this one. This is step down transformer whose specifications are 230S to 230 as a primary voltage and 15 as a secondary voltage, and those two are in the RMS form, means 230 as a RMS and 15 as a RMS. So this output of what we can say step down transformer is given to the input of bridge rectifier. These 4 diodes are connected in bridge form. Yes, instead of connecting like this, I'll connect those diodes in some different arrangement. You can check. This is transformer primary, core, secondary, and those 4 diodes, instead of showing like this, I'll connect 1, 2, 3 and 4 in this fashion. And again these two upper terminals of cathode are shorted, lower 2 anode shorted, then the middle of first branch, middle of second branch, like this. So these two terminals are known as the input of bridge rectifier, like this. Here there is overlapping. I'll connect lower terminal of transformer to middle of second branch. Then these two terminals are nothing but the output of bridge rectifier, and here I'll connect the capacitor. Okay, so if you cross verify these two circuits, they are nothing but same. So this arrangement is very easy for the implementation. Hence instead of using this, I used this particular arrangement for the implementation. Okay, so the point is this is your bridge rectifier. Okay, and these two are the output of bridge rectifier. And if you see the middle of these two branches, the transformer secondary is connected to the middle of these two branches respectively. Okay, here we'll obtain the output of bridge rectifier, which can be connected further at the output of capacitor filter. This is your voltage regulator IC, 3-pin voltage regulator IC. You can check, it has 3 pins, 1, 2, 3. Pin number 1 is input, 2 is ground, and 3 is output. Okay, now this is a CRO. You aware about this CRO? we'll try to take the help of digital multimeter as well as CRO for the reading, to take the readings. Our aim of this practical is to study the different blocks along with to test the output at each and every block. So first we'll measure the output across secondary winding, output across bridge rectifier, output across filter, and then finally output across voltage regulator. Okay, we'll try to measure their values and we'll also try to see their values or their waveforms on the CRO. So see here, the connections are made. 230 volt I have given to the input of transformer, then it will be step down. So across these two terminals I must get the secondary voltage. How much it is? Around 15 volt RMS. Okay, so first I'll measure with the help of DMM and then I can see that waveform on CRO also. So I want to measure AC voltage because transformer output is AC, yes or no? So this rotatory switch should be on the voltage, and here out of this AC DC I have to set the functionality as AC. Okay, and then measure the voltage on DMM. So this is the voltage on DMM. How much it is? 16.83 volts. How much it was expected? 15 volt. Okay, the DMM, when you keep or when you measure the AC voltage using DMM, it will always shows its RMS value. Now we'll try to prepare one observation table. That observation table is like this. First the testing point, okay, then its value using DMM, then using CRO, and finally the theoretical value of that parameter or of that testing point. So first my testing point was output of transformer. The expectation was, as per the rating of transformer, it should be 15 volt and it's RMS. Okay, using CRO we'll measure that. Using DMM I got how much? 16.84 volts. Again it's a RMS value. Now in the prerequisite you understood about how to measure the voltage, AC voltage using CRO. Now simply I'll remove this connection. This is the output of transformer. I'll simply connect to the channel of CRO, positive to positive, negative to negative. Use volts per division so that the waveform can be fit into the screen of CRO. Then use times per division so that waveform can be spread as per the requirement. Press ground, make that waveform symmetrical with respect to the y-axis. Then using X shift or X shift knob, bring that line at the center of your screen, leave ground. Then try to measure the voltage. Okay, how to measure the voltage? The distance from the center line or the reference axis to the peak value, positive peak of the waveform. Yes or no? So we'll try to measure it. Press XY so that only the positive peak can be obtained. Okay, so we'll measure it is how much? 1, 2 blocks. And how many sub blocks? 1.5 sub blocks. So what about the calculation? I got VM is equals to 2 complete blocks and 1.5 sub blocks. If you convert this into the voltage, it comes 2.3 sub block means how many division? 3 divisions. So 1.5 sub block means 3 divisions. Yes or no? So my answer is 2.3 volts multiplied by this 2.3 volt needs to be multiplied with your volts per division. For channel 1 it is 10 volts. So my answer is VM equals to 23 volts. And if you convert this value in terms of RMS, So divide by root 2, it comes how much? 23 divided by root 2. You will get around 16.26 volt RMS, which is as per the expectation, we can say 16.24 volt, its RMS value. So you can see theoretically 15 volt and practically it is around 16 volts. So the first testing point is validated. Yes. Second, now we'll see the output of rectifier. Output of rectifier. You know the output of rectifier? It look like this. Pulsating DC. Yes or no? This is what the expected output of your rectifier. Now by using these results, can you predict what should be the theoretical value of output of rectifier? Theoretical value of rectifier is nothing but say VLDC, which is equals to twice Vm by pi. Yes or no? Now using the formula, you can calculate theoretical value. So it is 2 times, what is your Vm? Vm is 15 root 2. 15 root 2 divided by pi. So it comes how much? 2 into 15 multiplied by root 2 divided by pi. So it is around 13.5 volts. 13.5 volts. Now we'll try to get this value using CRO and using DMM as well. Okay, so this is DC value, pulsating DC. Okay, remember this. Okay, now check the things on DMM as well as CRO. First, now the output of rectifier. See, this is the output of rectifier across the bridge rectifier. This is what the testing point, output of bridge rectifier. Now we'll try to see on multimeter. So change this setting. Now it's pulsating DC. So here it should be DC. This positive should be inserted into the positive knob and negative should be inserted into the common knob. Now check how much it is. It is around 14 or 15.2. So I'll write here it is around 14.9 something. Okay. Okay, it's 15 volts. Okay. Using DMM, it is around 15 volts. We'll cross verify using CRO also. Now check using CRO. Okay. So same output can be observed on CRO. Positive to positive, negative to negative. And this knob should be kept. यहाँ पे एक knob है AC DC. As we are observing the DC pulsating DC waveform, this AC DC knob should be pressed. Yes. So you can get the pulsating DC on the CRO. Now here if you measure the peak value, it is around 23 volts as we measured earlier. 23 if you substitute into the formula, yes, how much it was? 23, peak value was 23 into see the formula, 2 Vm by pi. Using CRO you got this Vm how much? 23 volts divided by pi. So it comes 2 into 23 divided by pi. So it is around 14.64 volts. Okay, so you can see it is around 15. Yes or no? So in this way you can get the value of or the output of rectifier. I hope you got this, how to measure the value of rectifier. Then next is filter. Okay, now we'll try to measure the output of filter. Okay, now see, I'll simply remove this connection and I'll try to measure or try to see the filter waveform on CRO. You can see. Okay, so whether you are getting any waveform, no, because this is open here in between, because the output of filter is not physically yet connected to the or across rectifier. So we'll take one external wire, then the output of rectifier is connected to the filter, and then filter output can be observed on CRO. Now you can see the waveform has been shifted upwards, means you are getting certain waveform. Now I'll resolve that waveform so you can get the shape of that charging discharging of capacitor. So using volts per division I will try to resolve it vertically like this. Then press ground, so it needs to be at the with respect to the reference axis. Now see, Now if you see closely, or if you zoom the video, there is the shape of charging, discharging, charging, discharging waveform. It's very difficult to get through the video the actual shape, but we'll try to yes, okay, fine. Okay, so this is what the output of filter. Through the video capturing, it's very difficult to judge the waveform, but if you see the waveform on the CRO screen is like this: charging, discharging, charging, discharging. This is what you are getting on the screen of CRO. Okay, that's it. Now I want to measure that voltage using multimeter, actual voltage. So I'll connect the output of filter across DMM like this. Now see the voltage, it is 21.53. okay, so third point, the output of filter. Theoretical value I am not interested now, but the practically using DMM, it was how much? 21.55. and again CRO, you can see the shape. Yes, it's not possible to measure the value, okay, unless and until you are using the formula. Yes, so if you know the formula, then substitute the value of Vm, you can get the value using CRO also. There is no any point. Number 4. Now instead of showing here the fourth point, I'll show here at the downwards. Okay, 4. Output of voltage regulator. Output of voltage regulator. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll remove this connection, then see here. At present, the output of rectifier is connected to the filter, means upper terminal of capacitor. Then the output of this particular terminal, that is capacitor, is connected at pin number 1. Means output of filter is connected to the input of regulator. Pin number 2 is connected to the ground from the back side, or from the back side of this PCB. You can see the pin number 2 is connected to the ground, and this pin number 3 of regulator IC is connected to the output terminal. So these two are the output terminals. We directly try to measure the output using DMM as well as CRO. But before that, I just want to tell you the number of the regulator IC. It is 7812. Okay, so if you know the calculation, you can say last 2 digits are nothing but the output voltage. So my practical output, or here what I have written, theoretical value. So what is the expected value? 12 volt. At the output I want 12 volt at constant DC. Yes, now using DMM and using CRO. Try to measure using DMM first. This is my DMM, positive, negative. So I connect the DMM across regulator IC. See the voltage, it is exactly 12 volts. So as per DMM, it is 12 volt. And also check whether you are getting the flat line on this CRO or not. So I just remove this connection, and across CRO I'll connect these two terminals. So see, positive, negative on CRO. What next? Press ground, bring that reference line exactly align with this x-axis, then leave the ground and measure and use voltage per division knob in order to bring that line fit into the screen. Okay, so see this one. Okay, this is what you are getting. You are getting a flat line. Yes, though you are getting some dots or some gap in between, but actually it's a flat line. Actually it's a flat line like this. Actually on CRO you are getting this flat line. Okay, as this is a recorded video, you are not able to visible this flat line, but it is there on CRO. Okay, now we'll try to measure this value, how much it is. So count the number of blocks and sub blocks. It is 1 block and 1 sub blocks. Yes, means 1 block and 1 sub block. Sub block means 2 divisions, so it is 1.2 multiplied by volts per division. Volts per division is how much? 10 volt. So 1.2 into 10 volts. So my answer is how much? 12 volt. So using CRO I got the value 12 volt. Okay, so what we did, our input was, at the input 230 volt was there, and at the output we are getting how much? 12 volt DC. So this is what your DC power supply. We'll again try to revise those 4 blocks. This is our step down transformer, then bridge rectifier, capacitor filter, voltage regulator. Yes. So on this particular note, I will wind up this practical. So thank you for your listening. Thank you.